Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Wicked Horror Show. I'm Kevin, and as always, I'm joined by Tony.
What is going on, people?
And of course, you know, every once in a while we have Angel on. Angel, how you doing?
What is going on, people?
As well, what's going on as well. And today there's a new YouTube show. Well, it's not that new, but it's I'm like obsessed with it, and it's really fun, and it's like a new kind of like horror host kind of deal going on, and that would be called Imaginarium's Dungeon of Doom, and we have two of the peeps from that. How you doing?
Hello. I'm Night Beast, host of Imaginarium's Dungeon of Doom.
And I'm Petra, the Destroyer.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh snap! So thanks for coming on, guys. It's something that I've been since episode 1. I've been trying to get people to watch it. It's just really fun.
This is very true. He's been telling me like every week
Every week,
you check it out? There's a new episode.
He's like, no, I haven't. And then I'll share it on here like afterwards, and I'll just be like, we'll just watch it. And
That's awesome.
but
it's so fun to hear people.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said it's so fun and cool to hear people like talk about it, because we're just doing weird shit and having fun, and
It's so much fun making it.
whenever
too.
you're telling us, you're just like, I'm trying to get people to watch this. I'm just like, ooh,
Thanks.
It's fun. I mean, it's one of those things where like I think that if people like had their eyes on it, I think it would take off because it's fun. It's short. It's not too long, so it's like perfect. You know, it's fun. You have like fun little like not sketches but segments that it just makes it enjoyable, and it's a little different. It's not very serious, and it's funny, and plus your art is amazing. That's how I came across it, was because of your art, and very, very original, different kind of art. And one thing that I've also said, and I think I told you when you were on a Secret Underground Hideout, is that you charge way too like little for your art. But that being said, I can't afford it still. But I'm surprised when I see the price points. I'm like, what? That's it for that? I'm like, holy crap, because it's like actual paintings. It's not like a print. Now I've paid that for a print somewhere, But
well, I mean, I guess I price everything as how long it takes me, because most of those paintings that I do, I'm working at Horror Freak, my side job, and I'm painting while I'm helping customers out and running the cash register and stuff like that. So I'm just like, I just don't think I should be charging that much for something. I guess
It's Jayce of all trades.
Yeah.
For real. But it's
you mentioned that as well, Kevin. He was like he showed me your Instagram and everything, and like the big head, like the
mask.
What is it? Masks and stuff that you have.
Yeah.
And I was looking at some of the like that, and then I was looking at some of the price. I'm like, I would have to buy me one, because I'm like, I've always been on like a Killer Clowns from Outer Space kick, and I'm like, I wonder. And then he went through. He's like, oh look, they have it. And then I'm like, I'm looking at. I'm like, okay, I might have to, put some money out there and buy it for myself.
I got, I do payment plans. I usually just deposits, and then if you want to pay the other deposit whenever I'm done, it's just. I mean, I'm willing to work with people. I know people don't have a whole lot of money, so.
But still, it's the artwork is it's ridiculous. It's funny too, because the way that you do it, it's done with like expanding foam and stuff like that. It's just,
I love that.
Yeah, it's just a different medium, So
surprisingly, a lot of people. Unsurprisingly, a lot of people try to figure out like how they ask me a lot of questions, and I'm kind of unwilling to let people know how to do it, because I struggled on how to learn.
Mm-hmm.
There's not like anything out there that you can just look up or read. and try to figure out how to use expanding foam. So I'm just like, I'm not willing to like give up all my secrets. I'll let them know some stuff, but other than that, I'm just like, well, I started doing process shots of my masks.
Yep.
Not really showing people how to do things, but like giving away a little bit of thing, a little bit here and there to help them out. I mean, because I don't want to give up everything.
No.
Right.
It's my selling point, basically.
Yeah, proprietary.
Right.
Yep,
Well,
exactly.
that's the thing is, even still, if someone figured out somewhat of the method, it's still your style of art. So,
Yes.
which is not exact. The paintings are very like kind of abstract, but still amazing at the same time. And it's your style. So it's great. So
you got some new ones that you posted on your Instagram, Leatherface and Freddie here that are
like the weird colors and stuff like that. You've done a lot of Leatherfaces, and that's if I bite, that's what it'll be. It'll be
My
a Leatherface.
nickname is Leather Jayce. Not really, but I can't give myself a nickname. But if I could, it'd
Might
be
as
Leather
well.
Jayce, because I don't know. Since I was like 7, I'd be like, Leatherface! Like, I'd fucking like go and attack my brothers and shit like that. And because it was the Texas thing, obviously, because I've been, in Texas, and I used to think that like it was a true story when I was a kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my god! I was like, is this really a movie, or is it like based off of?
The first one they say it's based off of, but it's very roughly based off of a
Freaked
true
me
story.
the fuck out. I'm just like,
Oh yeah.
And then until I saw the second one, which was my favorite, I was like, oh, okay, this is make believe. Oh, Luke.
Like,
The first one.
Yeah.
No.
The first one's my favorite, but I totally respect the the second one completely. After that, I'm done. Like after the second one, I'm like, meh, whatever. But the first one is still like my favorite, and it's still like one of my favorite horror movies altogether. But yeah, I don't know. It's really cool, and it's good to see that you were at a young age when you got into it and stuff like that. But so how much did your art? I mean, obviously, Night Beast is your mask, but the actual idea for the show, where did it all come from? Like, was it inspired by anything in particular?
So I've always been a Pee Wee Herman fan, so Pee Wee's Playhouse, and I was always like an Elvira fan, and I'm a big Rob Zombie fan, and he used to have those little old school kind of like horror icon or not horror or horror hosts that he would start some of his movies. And I just always wanted to do a Pee Wee's Playhouse meets like Mike, like a creature, instead of like an actual like ghoul or like a ghost or whatever, or hot babe. I'm like, why not do something like Chop Top meets War meets somebody that just doesn't give a shit about what he says, and it's just like, hey, I'm just here to have fun, and that's what that's the character in itself, and just loves just shit that everybody else in the horror community would like his vest has pins of has Leatherface, it has all these pins and stuff that celebrate all the horror, especially in the 80s and 90s, because that's probably my favorite era of horror, is mostly whenever shit, I just lost my train of thought.
and a cape.
Practical effects. I'm a huge practical effects fan.
Yeah.
So
I think you have like the freaked pin on your vest as well, and your style is very reminiscent of that, which is amazing. So
yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say that he has the freaked the Two-Face.
the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I made the whole monster with the moving jaw, and that was like
the full out monster, not the half and half though, like the
not
full
the
out.
half and half, the full fledged one.
Have you done a Stewie Glick?
I want to do one. I want to do one of him so bad. I just haven't. I literally this year's been, and I'm so thankful. This year's been the past year has been so fucking awesome with like business. I don't think I've ever been busier. I don't know why it is. I think people are just
awesome.
not traveling a whole lot. So obviously, because and there's more money to spend on other things that make them happy, and I think that they're just more willing to spend their money on something that's unique and one of a kind. So
For sure.
I hope hopefully it keeps going. So
well, I don't think it wouldn't. I think if anything, it's gonna get bigger and bigger, and And I think Imaginarium's Dungeon of Doom is also going to get bigger and bigger. Fingers crossed, because people, if not, people are just dumb. But
yeah, I must say, after I sat down and watch all of them today, and and it's one of those things where you were saying it was interesting because you were saying it's like Pee Wee Herman meets a few things. When I was sitting there, it had like the old like Tom Green style, like his show meets what's his name from Space Ghost, what's his name, Drax or whatever.
Oh my god!
Yeah, Drax. So I thought it was a mix of them two, and I'm just like with a little horror aspect into it, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, this is brilliant. And the one short where you had the death scenes where he was like the imaginary friend or whatever, and he's like, I'm back and whatever. That was probably my favorite one, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, this has that like makings of whatever. So when you bring up like Pee Wee Herman, I was like, now I see part of it, but I wasn't thinking that when I was watching.
I'm actually a big fucking Brack fan. I used to be in high school. That was like I would just go up to people and just start talking like Brack.
You have to do the voice. You have to.
Hi everybody.
Yeah.
I'm going up there in TV land. My name's Brack.
I still like there was one thing in one episode that made me laugh so hard. I still think of it whenever anyone mentions like a chicken or something, and it's Mr. Bokbagok. I think that's hilarious. He's like, okay, Mr. Bokbagok. Like that was like the chicken's name is Bokbagok. I don't know why that really got me so much, but anyways, it's great. So that's awesome. But,
I used to watch that all the time when I was a kid. So yeah, that does have an effect, and I can clearly see, because Space Ghost is a cartoon, but Space Ghost Coast to Coast was it's like own talk show, which totally has. And I would love to do that actually. Whenever we get the studio made up, because the mid-season finale was kind of like supposed to give us some time to actually make our studio like an actual like set.
Since it got completely invaded by brain eaters.
Oh yeah. It's destroyed.
It is completely destroyed. That's why we have to be out here, not the studio.
Yeah. Watch your weed, folks, because could be some weird shit in there that makes you turn into a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was another funny. Why are we running so fast when they're so slow?
That was my niece and nephew and oh my god, she did so good. I didn't really hit her, but the first take that he wasn't filming. She did it so perfectly. Like I swung and she swung back so far she almost fell and her glasses flew off. And it was like, did you record that?
Even she was like, did you get that? Did you get it? We're like, no, we were practicing. Dang it.
They love this shit. So.
They were so angry that their names were not in the credits at the end. It was hilarious. They're like, I like the episode, but I'm very disappointed that our names are not in the credits.
Yeah.
And they're like 8 and 10.
I can understand that, but I would be, at the same time feeling like I want to be able to tell people, hey, you can come see me on this, and be proud that it's something cool. But
due to the snowstorm in Texas that we had, that literally pretty much flatlined everybody for a week. Like it kind of sent our filming schedule. We had to rush everything, so we filmed everything that Tuesday. And he had everything edited and ready to go for that last episode by Friday or by Thursday at 9 o'clock.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm just Jesus.
Ready for the countdown.
Yeah. So we forgot a lot of a couple of things, but Totally Awesome Murder, we were supposed to make the death scene with her at the very end. Totally Awesome Murder, but we forgot to put it in there.
Yeah. The whole thing was supposed to be Totally Awesome Murder, but it was totally awesome.
Yeah, and if you pay attention to what's on in the background right now, if you're watching, because this is going to be an audio podcast as well, but that's where the Totally Awesome Murder VHS goes in. It's right there. There's little things I like too, like that every time you're displaying a VHS, it just falls out of the sleeve. I like that a lot too. I think it's fun.
I'm trying to get little gimmicks in there. I don't know. I mean, hopefully they're working. You probably like them, but I'm trying to do my, just memorable things that people are just like, is he going to drop the tape? I didn't drop the tape.
There it is. Yeah. I don't know. That'd be awesome if you could figure out how to do like guests and stuff like with Space Coast to Coast. That'd be awesome.
So
I'm sure we could hook it up. I'm sure we can hook it up.
We have ideas for that.
Yes.
We got some regulars. We got some regular like horror icons that we're in contact with. We could probably get them to jump on that.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking Felissa Rose. She'd be down for
I've met Felicia Rose. Yeah, she's amazing.
She's been on. Yeah, she's the best person in the world. But we've had her on a bunch of times. But I don't know. Lloyd Kaufman, I'm sure we do it too.
Into the horror because there's like one horror store in Texas and it's Horror Freak, and I have
There was.
Oh, there. Well.
Oh well. Yeah,
we're not going to discuss that. There's now 2, but we don't talk about the other one because I don't know the name. So. But she came into the store and signed autographs. This is pre-COVID, and dude, she had a line out the door. Like it was insane.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart, and she's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet at a convention and stuff too. So
and she's so tiny.
Yep. Yeah,
I didn't realize how short she was until I met her in person. When I took a picture with her, I was just like,
yeah, she's a little lady. But yeah, that'd be sick. So like, was it always a plan to have both of you in it, or like I don't know, no? So like Petra, have you been in any of the other stuff? I was trying to pick you out in other things, and I don't know if I noticed.
Well, I actually have never been in any of his other stuff. I was very shy, and because I kept quiet to myself for the longest time, I was never really asked or wanted to act in a lot of stuff because I was like, you guys are doing so great. Like, I'm a fan on this side. And then one day, we started doing karaoke, and of course, I'm just like, well, I'm scared to do karaoke. And he's just like, well, why don't you go up there? And I finally did it. And we went in this deep spiral down karaokeville. So that kind of helped me get out of my comfort zone. And apparently the director thought I was hilarious. So whenever you guys,
he's our friend. You know,
he's our friend.
Director.
He's director, our friend. Carlos.
The douche shit's not here right now. I'll tell most of this podcast. He'll be like, you missed out, bitch.
He is gonna miss.
Yeah, he's at home washing his hair or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
He's like, I'm editing. Like,
yeah. I'm creating art, whatever.
Yeah. No, but it was crazy because like we while they were talking about it, I ended up being like, well, or not I, but they ended up asking me to be like, well, whenever there's some kind of horror show, there's usually, someone on the side, like spitting out witty comments. Why don't you be that? And I was like, oh, I'll try. So of course I get in there and I'm so nervous. And so that's why like the first few episodes, I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't think it was until like the Valentine's Day episode where I actually like murdered you.
Yeah. It took her killing me in order to actually feel comfortable.
Yeah, I was like, man, I was a clown and I killed someone, but man, I'm not there yet.
I gotta kill my husband.
Kill you. Yeah. And after that, like, I ended up like kind of coming out of my shell. I'm like, oh, I freaking love this. This is kind of crazy.
I didn't know. Like, I had assumed that you had been on other things. That's why I was trying to find you. I was watching.
I write better parts for her than I do for myself, just because.
Oh, yeah.
I get into it.
Well, I married her because of her personality, and her personality shines whenever she lets go, and she's starting to let go. So she's starting to get fucking awesome. Like the last scene in episode 6 of Dungeon of Doom.
I'm so excited.
I'm just like, that. Yeah. I was like, I'm just gonna stand back there. I'm gonna let you do your thing. I don't need to be like karate chopping it because I did that in Thieves. I was like, I don't need to be doing that. And I was like, this is like let's let you stand out and do something.
Practicing my sword skills,
awesome.
And I was so happy. I was like, yes. Yeah. But yeah, I've never been in anything else except for this. But hopefully, I can be in more.
No. Yeah. He's like, nope. Just real quick, I just want to say one of our regulars, Sergio, is in the chat room. He just wanted to make sure everyone, he said hi, so he just wanted to make sure that.
Hi, Sergio.
What's up, Sergio?
Yeah, he said awesome masks.
Yeah, he did. Said awesome masks. So yeah, Sergio's the man. And we appreciate that he's here. But yeah,
you can cut us off at any time because we talk too much.
No, that's okay.
No, that's
why
you're here.
I've done a couple podcasts with y'all and with you specifically, Kevin, and you know me. I'll fucking ramble all day.
This is my first.
Yeah. You guys listen to podcasts? You guys listen or watch podcasts?
Do what?
Like, do you check out any other podcasts? Like, do you watch or listen to any?
Of y'all's podcast?
No, just in general.
Man, obviously last podcast on the left because I'm a huge serial killer fan.
Scared to Death podcast, I freaking love.
I haven't checked out.
Of course. Can't name them all though. I'm an asshole.
Yeah, there's way too many. No, but the
Yeah.
last podcast on the left is a good time, and I don't know, Henry Zabrowski, I try to track down everything he does because he's just ridiculous. But
Yeah, he is.
but
A
yeah,
good
I mean,
one is Sword and Scale. If y'all like, unknown true crime type stuff.
Mhm.
Sword and Scale is really good to listen to.
Yeah, he
Evil-
was good. He was
Evil
good for a while.
Evil Examined is good too. When a guy that we know from the cons and stuff, it's a really good true crime podcast, and they get into like, a lot of weird stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Evil Examined, and they write. One of the guys writes books too.
Yeah, he's an author.
If y'all like ghost, well, not really ghost stories, but it's kind of like an old Art Bell type podcast. It's called Jim Harold's Campfire. He has people call in, and he does. He listens to their ghost stories, cryptid stories, alien stories. Like people comment with other stories, and it's pretty freaking crazy.
Nice. I'm always looking for new things. I listen to mostly comedy podcasts, so it's sometimes I'm like, all right, I need to change it up. 'Cause it's just all Your Mom's House and like I don't know, all those guys and like the Legion of Skanks. I listen to them, but I don't know, whatever.
She listens to one that's pretty funny called Dungeon Daddies or what is it called?
Dungeons and Daddies.
Dungeons and Daddies.
But it's not a BDSM.
It's not.
Like that dragon kind of thing with just dad.
Dungeon
It's
Daddies.
It's based off the
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, okay.
D&D.
I almost said
D&D?
Yeah.
Dungeons of Doom. No, but it's about four dads who basically like end up crossing this realm and they end up losing their sons and they're trying to find them, and it's hilarious because they're basically rolling dice as if they're playing Dungeons.
Oh no, they really are playing.
No, they are really playing.
That's their little notebook.
Yeah, like Harmon Quest. Harmon Quest was like that too.
And there's actually I forgot what they call the headmaster or the whatever.
Dungeon Master. He's a dungeon master.
Yeah, Dungeon Master.
They call him
but
Dungeon
Daddy.
Yeah, Dungeon Daddy.
That's creepy and weird.
Daddy Dungeon.
Yeah.
Or Hello from the Magic Tavern. That's a fun one too.
Nice. Now, do you guys have like stuff already planned for the next season or half of season or whatever you're planning on doing?
So we're going to have. I don't want to give too much away, but we got some. So every episode, if you probably can tell, has a theme in it.
Mhm.
So we have some other stuff that's going to be horror related still, but not quite horror related. Like we have, one of them that I really want to do is a wrestling one, and so that one, and then we might hit on like a Power Rangers style type one, just because there's tons of monsters in there that are fucking awesome, and that has a big significance in my heart.
Eyeball monsters and the fish monsters.
Yeah, so awesome.
We try to make a theme for each episode.
Yeah, so we want to do maybe
cool.
like a Jurassic Park safari type one as well. So we got plans.
We're already writing too.
Oh
so
yeah, we're just trying to write the next 6
we've got
episodes.
plans.
So they're coming along. But now we're doing another one where it's Carlos Gets Cultured.
Yeah.
And that one is basically just us getting hammered and watching a movie. Well, he's watching it for the first time, and
I don't like how, as a filmmaker, how has he not seen these movies? I mean, they're only 2 episodes in right now, but they're both movies that I'm like, huh? Like, how come?
The Labyrinth and the Evil Dead were the first 2?
Yeah.
He's never seen.
So I've known him since 2009, and he told me because he came here from Mexico in 7th grade, and he didn't speak a lick of English, and he learned from like Sesame Street or something like that. I can't remember, and he speaks great English now. And he said he basically he always wanted to be a director, but he's just never seen any of like the cult classic stuff that has a huge I'm not going to
huge impact.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously been influenced by some stuff because his stuff looks great. So he's been influenced by.
He's a fucking awesome editor. He went to school for filming too, and he's just getting better and better. With each thing that he does, I just got to keep pushing him and over a cliff. till he's dead.
Yeah. No, but the quality of the stuff is great.
Oreo!
Like Thieves looks awesome too. Like from beginning to end, Thieves looks great and it's wicked funny. And I don't know, it's a really good time. I legit would buy it on Blu-ray or DVD. I'm just letting you know. Just tell them.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You need. that's why I wish he was here on this podcast.
Me too. I was planning on saying something to him. I was planning on it being like, put it on a disc. Let me know how much and where to send it. Like,
I'll let him listen to this, and I'll be like, "Bitch, I told you should have came." Again.
Yeah, literally.
Next time.
But and that's another thing too. Like, with Imaginarium's Dungeon of Doom, I'm just saying you guys should do some T-shirts or something. Like, whatever.
She's got my. Well, I just came out with T-shirts for my art, and she's. I think you said you bought one, or somebody bought one.
Condo's there.
I didn't buy one. I know Scott bought some art from you. One of the guys on one of the other shows, he bought some art from you. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Even so, that's just the Imaginarium Delirium shirt, though, right? That's not the Dungeon of Doom.
We have plans. I'm probably gonna. I got to get somebody to draw something up because I paint. I'm not good with digital stuff. So usually, whenever I trust somebody and I like their style, I usually seek help somewhere else for like merge type stuff. 100%. We need to get a Dungeon of Doom T-shirt, some pins or something, stickers.
Stickers, yes.
Yeah, awesome. Everything's just neon, hot pink and purple and green.
Some capes.
Some capes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This guy knows what's up.
Oh my gosh!
People want capes.
This way.
He's picked a couple times.
I don't know which way.
I think it's different for
Whoever.
I'm pointing Angel over here, but he's over there.
Yeah.
I'm right here.
Yes.
I'm right here.
Oh, okay. Here he is. Oh, there you are.
Right
So
here.
do you think you would ever do like a paranormal themed episode? Sergio's asking if you're into the paranormal stuff.
Well, we did the demons episode, and that we were fucking with a Ouija board and stuff like that. So that was kind of paranormal.
Ghost episode.
Yeah, we did
but
ghost episodes. It turned out better than I thought it was, but we didn't know what the hell we were gonna do for that one because we were just like like everybody had shit to do.
Well, it started off as a totally awesome murder, but then we just kept filming and filming. We're like, we might as well just make it into an episode.
But
How long does it do an episode? Like usually, like how long does it take you to film? On average,
a day or two.
No, not a day.
Well, it all depends. Well, some episodes take a day. Like basically, we usually like get everything in the studio recorded first, and I have to write down, the video of the week, and I, do that, and then Mayhem Monster Maker. So we try to shout out some artists online that we really like.
yeah.
We do all that in the studio, and then if we have segments like Dudes and Their Dogs, we'll pick a day where we do that, and then do everything else.
Yeah.
So,
I legit am constantly I'm constantly saying that. Like dudes in their dogs. Roof. Like it's the little bark at the end makes it.
Currently my ringtone.
I made that. We were sloshed in the pool last summer, and I was just like, okay, I got an idea. I was like, why don't we go to the dog park and we interview people with their dogs? And I already had the theme song, Dudes and Their Dogs, yeah. And I recorded it on my phone.
And that's when we started.
And you had that like real thin microphone too, like you were like Bob Barker on the old school Price is Right.
I did, exactly. I bought that online. I was just like, I have to have the tiny little microphone head so I can play in people's faces and make them really uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the costume made some people like, what the hell is going on? And then you walk up.
First one, nobody wanted to talk to me. I was just like, this is, I don't know. There was like a ton of people there, and I was just like, I keep going up. Hey, do you want to be on camera? No, don't talk to me. I was like,
you came in wearing the mask. You didn't come in not wearing the mask. You came in wearing the mask. So everyone's like, who is this guy?
Hey, don't worry about it, you asshole.
Excuse me. Can I talk to you for a second?
Good times.
It was perfect.
But finally, people started coming in, and they were just like, "Yeah, I'll interview."
Well, after the first interview, people were like, "Oh, this guy's actually not weird.
He's not going to
murder us." Yeah,
that's actually a microphone, not a knife.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
you can stab someone with a microphone. You just have to try really hard.
Yeah, people always
that
have.
one like
Totally
so
awesome
it's
murder.
kind of like a whip, and I just
Yeah. I'm just imagining down the road, like when everything gets back to normal, I can imagine seeing you guys walking around a convention and doing like filming an episode, like bugging people.
Frightmare's gonna be coming up pretty quick, and they said they're gonna be open. So I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely gonna go. I mean, my boss said he was already gonna be because he owns a horror store, so he's just like, hey, it'd be funny for you to just go out there, and I'll pay for your ticket. We'll go out there and freaking interview a bunch of people and do stupid shit. Not gonna punch somebody.
Yeah, that would be amazing. If anything would get me to finally go to Texas Frightmare. For real, I've been saying for years I want to go because we always have friends that have like Billy Pond's there like every year, and
they're fun. You just, I mean, unless you're staying there, like, or you live in the area. I mean, it is so fucking. It's kind of like hard to get to, because.
Oh really?
Last year when we went, I think the guy that owned Shudder, like, I ran into him because I ran into a bunch at a bunch of VHS swaps because we used to do regular VHS swaps around the area.
That's awesome.
And he hit me up, or he saw me. He was like, "Hey man," he was like, "Dude, this is like the biggest Frightmare." I think they said that there was almost 35,000 people that showed up in the past day, or from the first day, and then it's like 33,000, 35,000, and then Sunday's always a little bit quieter. But that's a lot of people for that small of a hotel.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe one of these days. It's one of the ones I've been saying I want to go to for years, and now that everything's, the way it is, like when things go back to normal, I'm like, I actually have to do this now. I have to.
Yeah.
Who knows
It's a lot of fun.
You'll hit me up. I'll show you around. You just let us know.
Cool. Yeah. It's I don't know. We go to. I mean, we do conventions we were doing conventions all the time, but I don't know.
What conventions have you done recent? Have you done any recent ones?
Well, it's all up in this part of the country. So it's like Scaricon, and there was used to be one called Rock and Shock. That's
pretty awesome.
Yeah, Rock and Shock was like Adam Green, who does like the Hatchet movies and stuff like that. He's like mentioned Rock and Shock in some of his stuff because he's local to us as well, and like Scaricon was a good time. I used to we moderated panels and stuff. I actually moderated one with Elvira. You mentioned Elvira recently, and then I mean, it was a good time. Yeah, it was a good time. But anyways, before we get too off track, I want to play the little trailer for Imaginarium's Dungeon of Doom, and then we're talking about some other stuff as well. But here is the trailer for Imaginarium's Dungeon of Doom. All of the episodes are now available on YouTube. You just go to what's the YouTube address?
Yep.
Yes.
Just like Dario or Gento, but without the Gento.
Yeah. Or if you just do a search for Imaginarium's Dungeon of Doom, it comes up as well. But it's easier to spell Dario. So there you go. Here's the trailer.
Dungeon of Doom. Dungeon of Doom. Dungeon of Doom. Dungeon of Imaginarium. Dungeon of Doom. Imaginarium. Dungeon of Doom. Imaginarium. Dungeon of Doom. Imaginarium's Dungeon of Doom. January 2021. Get ready for your nightmares to come true. Dungeon of Imaginarium.
Man, I watched that.
Now, who came up with that theme song? Because I must say, the first time I watched it, I was just like, okay. I'm like, it starts off so like happy, and then it got that metal growl. Then it goes back. I mean, it seems like you cut it a little bit in the later episodes.
Yeah, it was just. I was just like, we just. I don't think people are gonna. I think people are gonna get lost if they're still watching the theme song a minute in. I was just like, let's just cut it down a little bit, just get on with it. And I mean, it gave us more time to do other stuff in the episode because we try to keep them, around 12 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was in a band for a long time before I was an artist, and my buddy that was my bass player, we still hang out a lot, and we just went over to his house and we're just like, okay, we need a theme song, and this is what I feel like it should be. So I just sing in the melody, and he's an audio engineer, so he has everything to record, and he's just like, all right, let's do it. And I was just like, Imaginarium, do 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 do, and he's just like, got it.
But he actually, you and him, Blake, they both recorded
Blake
also.
Pichon.
Yes. Dudes and Their Dogs and Funky Town Freak.
Oh, yeah.
So everything, and a lot of the music that's also in Thieves, they did as well. Them too.
I was actually wondering that because I was poking around on the YouTube and I was going through some really old videos, like old school stuff. And there was one I saw. It was like of one of your bands, like playing at a small club live. And so is the bass player and stuff as well? Is he in some of the videos? Like some of the
So Pichon, Blake Pichon is he's the tall guy that's in Thieves that has the nose rings.
Yep.
He's like, we gotta ditch this bitch. Like that.
Yeah. You thought that was him. Yeah. But so yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, and I was also wondering about some of the music too, because some of it I was like, is this something I know? Like I don't know if it was your vocals or not, but there was some of them I was like, is this like an acoustic like Against Me song or something? It was like the vocals sounded similar, but I'm like,
I think since we've known each, we've had like a group of like 5 to 6 friends that have been constantly like trying to do videos since like 2009. That's how I met them. Somebody didn't show up, and I just happened to be hanging out with somebody else, a mutual friend. They're just like, hey, we need somebody to film with. Do you want to come? And I'm just like, sure. So I ended up falling in a creek of frozen water just to get something, something stupid and fun on camera. And then that's how we all met, and we've just been doing it ever since.
nice.
Pretty much most of the music is either from him or from us. In all the videos that we have, like all the music in Thieves is from our band, Wolf at the Door, and then me and him had a side project called I don't even remember, New Whiskey Moons, which is a very hipster sounding name. And then he has his own thing called Moon Tomb, which he does his own music with. But yeah, it's all in house.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a one episode in Thieves when you guys took shrooms and you were in the woods. Was that you singing or was that someone else?
That was me.
Oh, nice. That was actually a pretty good song. I was like, oh, that's good.
It's called shit. Not shit.
That's not what it's called.
Shit.
I can't. It's called shit. I'm stoned. We named it Buzz Cuomo.
Yeah.
We named Buzz Cuomo after the lead singer of that one band.
Buzz Cuomo?
Buzz Cuomo. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a mixture of like Buzzo from the Melvins and like Rivers Cuomo from Weezer, or?
Yes, that's exactly right. Like I said, my lead guitarist named that song because he was just he wrote the melody and stuff, or the guitar work for it, and I'm always the guy. I can't play instruments for shit, so I just make up the lyrics and sing stuff. Like
they used to just send you a track and then you would just add lyrics right after.
You throw me a beat and I'll sing on it. It doesn't matter.
Nice. You've been challenged, but Angel and I are just going to come up with weird beats.
Yeah. I'm cooking them up right now.
Yeah, Angel's a musician. Angel, you're a singer though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I play bass.
Ooh.
That stupid music at the very beginning was actually Bill from the other show in my old band.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very bunglish. But anyways, enough about that. So, like, how long? So you said you met. I'm forgetting his name. Carlos in 2009. How long ago was Thieves made? Because you look different now than you did then. But so is it like, how old is that?
Thieves was started in 2015.
Oh wow!
And we finished it in 2016 because it took a year with everybody's schedules. It just took a long time to film, and then we kind of all lost touch a little bit. And then as soon as we all kind of got our schedules back in in place and we're all able to hang out with each other again, life happens. He wanted to film the very ending of that because, at the very ending, you see us going to Mexico, aka we're trying to go to Canada, but we went the wrong way.
GPS was upside down.
And and that was the February before COVID hit that we filmed all that stuff. And then he's just like, okay, we're going to release this because we used to be Killing Zombies Productions. And he's like, well, we need to relabel ourselves and get our name out there better and focus on, smaller things, but better production. And that's whenever he's just like, let's splice all this up into individual episodes, and we'll re-release it basically because we released it as a movie. Man, I don't even know. Probably in late 2016.
Yeah.
And we couldn't really release a movie on YouTube, so we were just like, well, we had like a lot of viewing stuff like here locally that we tried to get people to come to, and it was pretty good, But we ended it into a film, like a comedy film festival in Fort Worth, and it came in like fourth or third or fourth. I can't remember, but it's fun. It's fun stuff.
It's definitely fun to me that now that it's edited into episodes, because the way that the finished product is, I feel like there's a lot more people who are invested in it because they can just kind of stop it and it's like, oh, I'll watch the next episode, tomorrow if I need to, and like they'll end up watching it throughout the week. And I think, I don't know, the way he edited it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's cut up like really well, like the way that it's done. But at the same time too, I did sit and just watch it from beginning to end. So it's like I could just skip the intro and just the slight recap and then go right into it. But
I'm sure I can get you a copy
of the whole
digital of just the whole movie.
That'd be awesome. I'd appreciate that. But either way. So Tony, did you end up checking that out? I've been telling you to watch that for a while too.
That with work and whatever, I just was watching the. Hey, listen, I listened to you and I checked out the.
Imaginarium.
I'm saying it like it's a bad thing, which wasn't because I fell in love with all 6 episodes.
I watched it.
It came out very wrong at that point in time. I enjoyed what I watched, so I'm going to after this have to sit down and watch that as well because he sat down. We like he was saying right after almost every show we had, he's like, "Did you see this episode? Did you see that?" And he showed me the dudes with dogs, and I'm like, "Okay, definitely." That's when I'm like, it has this like Tom Green feel and whatever, and that's where I'm like,
"It's the first episode, so it gets." I mean, the first episode was good, but it still just progressively even gets better. And
because like I said, there was certain ones that got better and better, like the imaginary friend one, and then just a little like one-liners that are in each one. I found myself like comedies nowadays. I don't find myself laughing at all, but some of the lines that were in some of them, like with the ghost friend or whatever, and you're doing the Ouija board, you're like, just the way you stop, you're like, get the ghost. I don't, it's. I laugh definitely.
Don't delay. Send me someone super happy.
Yep. I was like, I wasn't if he's gonna drop it, and then the ghost comes out and whatever. But yeah, it was definitely a few that I found myself laughing out loud. Like comedies don't do it for me. Like I grew up with like the Mel Brooks like comedy and all that stuff. So some of this it had that feel to it. But there was definitely sometimes, especially with the zombie one, I'm just like why? Because at one point I'm like, oh, they're going pretty fast, and then you turn and they're like not even close to you, and I found myself laughing a lot.
Yeah.
Well, Thieves is pretty funny. It's like, and it's not like slapstick humor. It's just funny, and it's not like looking at the camera winking kind of humor. Like that. The one thing I'm thinking of is like when you filled your pants with weed, and then you're running down the sidewalk, and you can see it all gathered around your ankles. I'm like, that's just funny.
Dude, I called myself Gumby Boy for like a year after that. I was just like, look, it's Gumby.
Well, I was laughing out loud because he was just like, I am so, or let's get so fucked up. Wait, so fucked up what? So fucked up what? I'm just like, I was even laughing.
A lot of the stuff, I doubt you know this, but a lot of it's very loose script based. So we have something that we're just like, okay, this is what we're working towards. So I need you to get from point A to point B, and you need to like mention this, but it's mostly improv stuff.
Yeah.
So,
you guys all work really well together. I mean, there's a lot of people. I was actually thinking a lot while watching Thieves. I was like, I wonder if these guys do other things, like the guy that was like the pimp guy. I'm like,
oh yeah, Lawrence.
I'm like, this dude's got to be in other stuff, like with other people. What's that?
He's an accountant at the zoo.
Is he really?
I don't know if he is anymore, but the last time I talked to him, he was.
He's an accountant at a zoo.
Yeah. Or
So
he worked for something at the zoo.
Counts monkeys, or make sure.
An accountant.
Yeah.
Not a counter. At the
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
He is a counter
he's a
at a
counter
zoo.
at the zoo.
Yeah. People put things on him like they're drinks.
Well, we had our first feature film was called Degenerates, and it was a what is that motorcycle gang show? It's a
Sons of Anarchy.
Yes, Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy meets zombie apocalypse, and that was our first feature film, and we learned a lot after filming that. So Lawrence, the guy that played the pimp, is in that one as well, and he plays somebody, and that one's like, I don't know, that was fun to film, and we had a lot of extras and a lot of people helping on it, but I mean, we learned a lot from that one. I don't know if that's on YouTube or not.
I don't say it doesn't sound familiar. I was poking around, but I don't know. And then you have the Devil's Mask, right?
Yes.
And that one it's only 2 episodes, like each one is about 11, 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's just a short.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, though, I think you could expand on it. Like, I think that it could be made into something more.
Yeah,
and
we definitely left it open for another show. Maybe you can play the girl that killed me.
Like an origin story too.
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, what was that scene? I've always wondered, because I wasn't. I was around, but I wasn't there while they were filming. But whenever I first saw it, like, I wasn't there physically.
Yeah.
But seeing that opening, or the opening scene where, like, the demon, like, as soon as you pick up the mask, there's all that stuff going on in the background. I think that would be such a cool origin story. It's like, what happened then? Because I watched that and I was like, I want to know that too.
I want to know because that came from, like, in the character's grandmother's house, right? Was it the grandmother's house? Was she the demon before? I want to see an old lady killing people.
You never
Make it
know.
happen. I don't know.
You won't tell me. That's all.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I'm going to play the trailer for Devil's Mask, and it happened right about now.
Still wearing the ring. Just can't let it go yet.
Who doesn't want to? I'll do the wave. Hooray! Perfect. So, Tony, I'm assuming you didn't watch The Devil's Mask either.
That would be correct.
God
But
damn
now
it.
that, hey, listen, now that I know, now that I have
radar.
Now it's on my radar. Now that I, like, enjoyed what I saw so much, now I gotta
You
dive
better.
deep into it.
That's a completely 180 from Imaginarium's Dungeon of Doom and Thieves, because I had to be a serious actor, I guess, and I am not, and I try so hard, but how I say my words, like, it just doesn't sound like I'm being serious ever. So
He did great.
I'm just like,
He's not used to being.
I was going to say, I thought you did great. I mean, I thought it was great. So, yeah, I mean,
I'm my worst critic.
you're always like, it's one of those things where you're always picky about your own stuff. Like I'm sure you're nitpicky about your art and about your music and everything, like, and your dog being upside down and your wife in the head. You know, that's what happened.
They do that. They do that.
Whoops. Yeah. But anyways, so with the pandemic, obviously things. I mean, with Imaginarium Dungeon of Doom, it's probably easier because you guys are just filming on your own. But are you guys like planning anything as a group, like coming up, or is it just you're just focusing on the Imaginarium Dungeon of Doom?
So as far as people from Thieves, or
just the whole
The whole ensemble.
to be honest, like, you know, we still all consider everybody, friends of ours. Blake was in the first Dungeon of Doom.
I killed him.
She killed him in the clown episode. We want to get him to do more episodes, and as far as, a lot of other people are concerned, they either don't express any interest, or, they're just too busy to do anything. One of the guys that is usually filming with us, he moved to the LaCroix or whatever. Is it? The Virgin Islands somewhere. So he moved away from an oil company. So he's not able to do it. So we just thought, work with what you have, Kevin Smith style, you have a bunch of friends, or if you don't, like, that's why it's just me, her, and Carlos is usually an extra or another character. Jorge, Carlos's boyfriend, is usually an extra in a lot of this. That he was the demon in the Demons episode.
Carlos gets cultured too.
Yeah, the same. And Carlos gets cultured as well.
He was the other one on the character for the second one. He was the other guy. Yeah. Nice. How many of those do you guys have in the can? Have you guys recorded?
At least 5, because
Man, we just filmed one.
We just filmed. Oh my God, this next one was probably our best.
Really?
It's gonna be. I'm sure. Well, no, I can say what the movie is.
Okay.
So, have y'all ever seen Chiller Rama?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with Adam Green. That's another like.
Oh yeah.
It's all that.
We did the Frankenstein one, right?
Yeah. We had the director from one of them. Yeah.
And so we watched that for the first time together a while back, and we fucking loved it. And of course, Carlos hasn't seen shit, so so we showed him that one, and they, and Jorge, they both fucking thought it was hilarious. And we're just in every freaking scene, we're like, ah! Like we're screaming and shit, because right off the bat, dude, like guy gets his fucking shit bit off and stuff. It's like spoilers, sorry.
That's right. The movie's good. Yeah, didn't we have? Is one of the stories in that? Didn't we have a director from one of those stories on? Trying to remember who it was.
Believe so, but then you have like
the guy who did like
Duder and
he did Lava Lantern.
Yeah, Mendez. Wasn't it Mike
Mendez? I think he did one of them. Yeah.
And but then you had like Cool Duder and What Movie One. They were in one of the scenes as like background people.
I think that was the one with the giant sperm. I think it was that
one. Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla. That was a fun one.
That was awesome. 1950s fucking monster movies.
Yes. So we're actually getting close to the hour point. So I just want to make sure that people know to go to the YouTube channel and subscribe so they can check out all of the Imaginarium Dungeon of Doom and everything else that's on there, because it's so awesome and just good. And it drives me crazy that like you would think that there would be like thousands and thousands and thousands of views, and it's just like there's so much on the internet.
There will be.
Yeah, they will be. That's what I'm saying. Make sure I'll wear them, and then I'll be like, "Oh, people ask me what's that shirt," and I'll tell them exactly what it is. Yeah. So make shirts. I'll buy. I would buy shirts of your art too. I'm just saying, like, just take photos of it, put it on a shirt. I would totally buy that.
Photos of him holding up his artwork on a t-shirt.
Yeah, I was actually. I did that. We were trying to do that with the guys from Comic Book Men, because we had like multiple pictures from them, and like we tried to do it where they were holding the 8x10 of the last time we met, signed by them, and then we were just doing it like down. But then cons fell apart. Yeah, cons fell apart. That's another idea I have too for a coffee table book called Celebrity Photos, but it's all just pictures of me taken by celebrities. So, like, you'll go out to someone, like, hey, can I have a picture? And just hand them your camera and just be like, huh? Like,
Yeah, picture taken by Kane Hodder.
yeah, exactly. But anyway.
But you have to get them to like put like their hand out or something.
Well, no,
so
so
they
then
know.
have someone with like a crappy camera take a picture of them.
I'll be right back.
All right.
He ran away! And there
I
goes
don't blame
our
him.
dog.
Oh, that dog. That wacky dog of yours.
Dude and his dog.
Dude and his dog
Dudes
rough.
and their dogs. Oh, here he is. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. This isn't Jayce.
Oh, there we go.
I tell you what, that fucking douchebag that was in over here a fucking second ago, he's a piece of shit. Uh-oh, what happened?
Oh,
Oh, there we
sorry.
go. I told that loser Jayce to get the fuck out of here.
Nice.
But anyway,
Yeah.
you guys, thanks for having us on, first of all. Angel, Tony, Kevin.
Who's that?
I'm not Beast, host of Imaginarium's Dungeon of Doom. I'm a lot sexier without my jacket on, I know. But, oh, hey, there I am, I'm famous! Not Beast, host of Imaginarium's Dungeon of Doom. Yeah, picture this one.
Tony looks
Tell
like
you
a
what,
kid. I was gonna say I was gonna point.
By the way,
You just shave. You need to shave, or you just shaved?
I just shaved.
Like you just pushed really hard and it popped back out again.
It does. I'm like Tim Allen in the Santa Claus. That fucking bitch.
It's like one of those Play-Doh makers.
Exactly.
Play-Doh makers, you cut it and then push it a little bit, and they all come.
Yeah.
They all comes back
Especially when
out.
I'm constipated.
Yes, exactly.
He's
I was
in my
gonna-
ball sack.
I was going to tell people to go to your Instagram. So Imaginarium Delirium. If you go there, you can see all of the awesome. There's plenty of cool masks and artwork.
Dude, that Alf. Mask,
Yeah, the
man.
Alf is ridiculous. The Alf is great.
Ridiculous.
Well,
I'm
is that the one?
surprised by how good Jayce made that elf mask as well. I said, hey, man, you're stepping up your game. Oh, look at that two-step. Oh, and he's scaring his shank. I gave him that for his 5th birthday.
Nice. Yeah, it's really good. Was that a commission or was that just when
Yeah,
you
it was
sat in
commission.
your room? Nice.
The guy told him, he's just like, hey, you're really, hey, there I am. Look at that sexy bitch. Oh, man, them thigh muscles are great.
Different
Oh,
colored
yeah,
leather
leather
faces.
face, you know.
Look at that. It's so good. So yeah, go to Imaginarium Delirium, Imaginarium_Delirium on Instagram, and you can see
333.
all- what is it? Did I say it wrong?
Imaginarium
Oh,
_delirium.
333. Half of the devil. Yes.
I know.
Half of evil. But yeah, it's
An
really
angel,
good.
too. This is Elvira. You won't leave us alone.
That's okay. So not only do you do commissions, but there's some stuff that you have that you may have like available at the time. So you post that stuff every once in a while where you may have some paintings that are already done and available. But if there's anything in particular, like if Tony wants a killer clown from outer space, you just send him a message.
Hit
And,
me up, buddy, and I will let you know the deets. Or Jayce will let you know the deets.
He will. I'm sure that there'll be a very short time frame. He'll come on the show with a giant mask of some sort or a painting, and Tony will be that much poorer. But anyways, well, thank you very much, guys. So besides Imaginarium Delirium 333 on Instagram, is there anywhere else that they can follow you on social media?
I keep it simple. Just one social media platform for me.
And then for Dario Studios, all you have to do is just search Dario Studios, and all of our content is there as well.
Yeah, and they're on
I
Facebook
think they're
and
on
Instagram.
Facebook. I'm not sure because I'm not on Facebook, but I think Dario
Smart
Studios is
man.
on Facebook. So just check Facebook for Dario Studios.
Dario
there
Studios
is-
is also on the TikTok.
Oh,
Yes, we do have a TikTok.
The TikTok.
do you do dances?
I call it the clock that broke.
Do you do the dances on TikTok?
I started to, and then all of a sudden I was just like, this is a app for 14-year-old idiots, and I refuse to get back on that.
Well, that being said, Tony now has a TikTok. So Tony, you want to send people
Tony.
to
Tony, you're on TikTok?
He is.
Yeah, I do movie
You really
reviews
have
on
9
there.
fingers?
Awesome.
I got a hook finger. I messed it up in
I
in
got a
high
Franken
school.
pinky.
Oh. What
Oh,
happened there?
almost the whole thing, almost the same.
I get hit by a truck.
Oof.
I don't have that story. I dropped weight on it and lifting for football, but I think you beat me on that one.
Yes, you did. Anyways, Tony, where else can they find you?
Oh, you can find me at Tony Has Nine Fingers on YouTube, where I do movie reviews, unboxings, anything movie related you'll find here. Tony Has Nine Fingers on Twitter, which I hardly ever use. Tony Has Nine Fingers now on TikTok, where I do short movie reviews and show off my collection. And Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me. And, of course, here every Tuesday on the Wicked Horror Show. Angel.
You can find me on That Strange Show with my buddies Ryan and Mandy. Just having a good old silly goose time.
Yeah.
And then sometimes on here with you guys.
Yeah, and Ryan's got an album, EP coming out soon.
Yeah, April 6th, that drops.
You know what it's called?
Ritual Cysts. The band's name is called Sharp Object.
Yeah, it's good stuff. He sent me a link. So yeah, it's good stuff. And you can find me a Knuckle on Instagram. And besides Wicked Horror Show and Wicked Horror Reviews, Bill Barry's in the comments going "Gah." So thanks, Bill. So besides that, you can also find me on Secret Underground Hideout and Black and White Fright, all of which are on the Dorkney Podcast Network. And thanks to everyone involved. Thanks to Sergio for being in the room again, and thanks for Bill. And have a good night. Thanks, guys.